Oh, DC, how your comics fail miserably. You turned Dick Grayson into a James Bond knockoff as a secret agent so covert that his real name is on the freaking title of the comics, not to mention this dumbass advertisement. You don't know Dick? You don't know Dick. Actually, to be really fair to DC, it is a legitimate statement, and when I say legitimate, I mean when I say it to you. And then in celebration of the new 52 post imprints, you release what I'd like to call the Bat Blood Trilogy, which consists of Son of Batman, Batman vs. Robin, and finally Batman Bat Blood. Not to be confused with the How It Should Have Ended parody Bat Blood, which is significantly superior, and you should definitely watch that instead of watching 3 hours of these pieces of garbage. And yes, these movies exist, and yes, these movies are awful. And yes, I should warn you guys to watch something else instead, like, I don't know, Avatar The Last Airbender, Legend of Korra, Shimoneta, Rock no Yusa, One Punch Man, Charlotte, Attack on Titan, Ouran High School Host Club, The Devil's a Part-Timer, The Girl Who Rapped Through Time, Summer Wars, Shirobako, Zankyo no Terror, Kekai Sensen, Psychopaths. Hell, I'd recommend Hyoka over these garbage. At least that one doesn't put me to sleep after 10 minutes. Where to even begin with these movies? Okay, so let's get the tale straight out of the way. These 3 movies center obviously on Batman. Actually no, these 3 movies center on Batman's son Damian Wayne, the love child of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul. Now, to be perfectly fair, I like Damian Wayne, at least the idea of his character. I actually really want Damian Wayne to be good because he starts off as a character who is a brat and a spoiled child that really needs an adult supervision, kind of like Dick Grayson in a lot of ways. In the comics, at least the pre-52 era, he received supervision from none other than Dick Grayson, and the most interesting out of all of them, Stephanie Brown, and he's enjoying himself with them. I'm surely hoping for a character development in this movie at least done several degrees better than compared to the comics. However, I'm expecting pretty much the impossible. The one thing that really pushes back his character development is the fact that he is a jerk Sue in all of these movies, which does not give him the opportunity to learn from his mistakes or even make any mistakes. In the first movie alone, Damian Wayne is able to withstand Ubu, one of Ra's al Ghul's most powerful personal bodyguard that is about the size of Vin Diesel. There is a ridiculous battle that can be summed up as a sword fight between a young muggle Harry Potter against Dominic Toretto, and young Harry Potter wins for some reason. If you're a big fan of Deathstroke, like my little brother here, be prepared to throw your freaking popcorns at the screen at the time you see the young and little Damian Wayne going against Deathstroke and wins. Wow. You cannot be freaking serious. Like, the one villain who, for the record, takes one boss battle for Batman to beat, takes 1 season for Oliver Queen, aka Arrow, to beat, 2 seasons for the entire Teen Titans to beat, is somehow beaten in 10 minutes by a 10-year-old boy. Wow, just wow. Look, just because he's being trained by the League of Assassins from birth does not grant him the power of freaking Superman. I can believe that a child character can be smarter than the adults. God knows how many young chess prodigies out there. Examples: Tim Drake, or the terrorist from Zankyo no Terror, and these children are gonna use their intellects and wits to beat their enemies. I cannot believe that a child character is as strong as the adults by physical attributes only. At best, their strength is about as comparable as, well, a young muggle Harry Potter. If you want a kid to have fights with adults, do what One Punch Man did with Child Emperor, or similarly Hero from Big Hero 6, or make the child a wizard, or make him to have demonic powers, or train hard until a teenager and even then still use gadgets, or make them scientific experiments, or be smart and avoid conflict altogether. Another problem that I have with Damian Wayne is that he's a kid that never matures into an adult, because in every single scene he's like, I'm an adult, I'm an adult, I'm an I'm a kid doesn't mean I can't drive the Batmobile. Saying that you're an adult does not prove that you're an adult. Doing adult things does not prove you to be an adult, because, believe it or not, even adults don't want to be adults. I have one more thing to rant about Damian Wayne, which is the absolute nail in the coffin of why people absolutely hate him. Even when he is confronted on his mistakes that he makes without a single shed of doubt, it's his mistake, and yet he becomes an immature little jerk and blames anyone closest to him for the mistake that he made. And guess what? Like father, like son, he gets away with it. Every single time. Ah, great. Another whiny ass, childlike mentality from someone claiming to be an adult, or at least wanted to be acknowledged as an adult, because that's exactly what a lot of likable peoples do.
I gotta blame somebody, otherwise it's all my fault. Fuck that.
Now let's talk about the story. Surely the story should be in at least some form of decent, right? If you have an unlikable Mary Sue as the focus of your movies, you'd be lucky if it is at least watchable. Son of Batman is the story of Deathstroke trying to take over the world. It is so cartoonish that even Slade would be ashamed. Deathstroke destroys the League of Assassins with his troops, and he kills Ra's al Ghul. See what I mean with Mary Sue? See what I mean with Mary Sue? Not even Ra's al Ghul and the entire League of Assassins can take down Deathstroke. How can a 10-year-old boy can take him down by himself? This is the one moment where I just like, I completely quit. I cannot stomach it. I need a drink. Jesus Christ. 1 star out of 5. The story of Batman vs. Robin is the one that actually comes close to being a personal story between Damian and Bruce, but their development is really lacking, and the movies couldn't go at least 1 second to remind that Batman has a troubled past. Yes, we know! Other than that, it's a loose adaptation of the Court of Owls story arc from the New 52. The one reason why this movie is slightly tolerable compared to the last one is that it's based on one of the few good story arcs from the New 52, and to be fair, the villain is pretty awesome. He has a menacing voice, he is incredibly badass, he is cunning, he is deceptive, he brings both Batman and Robin down, and surprisingly, he is very sympathetic. Batman vs. Robin is slightly better than Son of Batman, but that's really not saying much. 2 stars out of 5. Watch this movie only for the villain, because he's so freaking badass. Then there's Batman Bad Blood. This movie's plot is so ridiculously cliched. I want you to stop me if this sounds the least bit familiar. The plotline is, after Batman and his female counterpart kick some bad guys, a masked villain traps him and puts him out of Gotham. The rest of the Gotham heroes join together to find out where the real Batman is, and those heroes including a sexy woman, a veteran sidekick, a rookie sidekick, and a black guy. And who is the main villain behind all this nonsense? Spoiler alert, Talia al Ghul. Just, wow, DC, that's a new low. To copy off a work of someone who actually knows what he's doing is a new freaking low for Detective Comics. Just wow. Well, there's definitely one lesson that needs to be learned right here. If you're gonna name your Batman movie, do not name it after the parody that it was based on, because even a 10-year-old is not gonna take that seriously. 1 star out of 5. Yes, I know that they're straight to DVD movies, but then we have Under the Red Hood that sets up the bar pretty high. To not achieve that bar again is something that I cannot tolerate. That's all for the review today. If you like this video, you can go ahead and click the like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.